does that mean Brooke is here too? Just checking in. Let's see. So I'm a little bit early, trying to get a little bit of kind of like a rolling start here. And so, oh, good. I do sound good. That's excellent. Thank you for confirming that, Fred. And then, as you can see, Brooke is in the blue font, which is really cool to see. And then I did send out, it's a little bit late, but I sent out a reminder today. In the reminder, I've got the quick intro video from Brooke and also from Ralph. So Brooke is scheduled for the 10th and the 24th, and Ralph is scheduled for the 17th and the 31st. So we've got coverage for the next 4 weeks while I am in a different hemisphere. So that's yes, the bouffant does suit. I love when Aaron shares that picture, that Photoshop picture of me. Oh yeah, I definitely will watch out for the leopard seals. Thank you for that, Paul. So in preparation for the trip, I listened to the audiobook version of Alfred Lansing's. Oh, hello, Gabrielle. What a delight. I listened to Alfred Lansing's audiobook. Oh, and Edward, welcome. Greetings. Alfred Lansing's version of Endurance, which is the incredible tale of the ship, the Endurance, that Sir Ernest Shackleton had used in what was supposed to be his continental attempt at crossing the continent of Antarctica, and what ended up being a journey of them trying to make it back home and stay alive. So it was pretty wild. But anyway, so I tell you all of that in the leopard seals were one of the biggest dangers to the survivors of the Endurance. And so that was, it was wild. So if you are an Audible customer, this is not this is not an affiliate link, or I don't get any kickback. But oh wow, I did not know it, Paul. Yeah, they're remarkably strong and large, from what I can tell. If you're an Audible customer, I think Endurance might be included with your subscription, so you don't even have to pay for it, maybe. And then Lansing wrote that in 59, I want to say, and it includes major segments of all of the crew's journals. So it's not just Shackleton and Wild, who was his first mate's perspective, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the beach balls maybe would distract them. I don't know. But I killer whales and leopard seals, I think, are definitely the two not to be trifled with in that area. So yeah, I have, not to confuse with the notion of general anxiety or anything else, but I have an anxiousness around packing at the moment. So we're flying out this weekend, and I realize that I probably won't relax until we're on the plane to Buenos Aires. But I'm doing my best to kind of be aware, to like use my sensory clarity about figuring out what's going on, and just kind of try to be as chill as possible. So oh wow. Yeah, I definitely think that this can be a group for support, for that. Bill, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I can imagine that would be a significant thing to process, and I'm glad to hear that you're physically okay. So, and thank you for sharing that again, Bill. And hopefully the technology sticks out tonight. We've got we've had a number of technological difficulties along the way, so I always appreciate your patience in all of that. And then great to see see folks to see and I know for Lynn, I think Lynn had some issues, technical issues last week, so thanks for doing that. And then there was a comment or a question about um, playing around with formats in the new year. I think was one of the questions. Maybe Fred had brought that up or had seconded it, and so that's definitely something thinking about. Not just from the YouTube live stream perspective, but if there's a Zoom perspective. So, and that's just a comment. Maybe that is another way to get a bit more mutual support for folks in the community. So just a thought, something to experiment here in 2024, probably in the February, March-ish time frame. So thanks for all of the likes in advance of our sit. So if you're new and you're sitting, everyone kind of chatting away, and you haven't been here before, you can always introduce yourself. We'd love to get an introduction. You're also welcome to just hang back and chat. What to expect? We're going to have a 25-minute sit. We'll have light guidance. The sit will have a lot of the hallmarks of the sits that I guide when I'm filling in for Jeff Warren on the Do Nothing project. So we'll have a little bit of just really setting the posture, a little bit of calming and settling down, acknowledging what's here, and then we'll kind of kick into the actual sit. The last 5 minutes, we'll let go of whatever technique has been offered. And so in doing that, I actually should check that. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right. So yeah, just a neighbor dropping something off. So yeah, we'll have a 25-minute sit. I'll ring a bell. We'll go ahead and yeah, that's all the things that happen, Ruth. So when somebody leaves the room, I appreciate that. But we'll have 25 minutes on the clock. There'll be a sit. There'll be guidance. Oh, I know what I was saying. So the last bit will be where we'll let go of the technique altogether, and it's an opportunity to sort of just to practice do nothing, the technique that Shinzen Young has introduced, and what is the name or the inspiration for the Do Nothing project that Jeff leads. And so it'll be, in essence, sitting and knowing that you're sitting. So yeah, that's the plan. And wow, while I was gone, there was some new likes that showed up. So what a delight. All right. All right, 25 minutes on the clock. If you do have questions or comments or anything, or if your technology doesn't go the way that it doesn't go, then you can always drop a comment over on the side. So appreciate that. There we go. So new year, it's always kind of a helpful thing to offer a bit of congratulations when you start out, because just getting to the point where you can sit down and meditate is really sort of a mini victory in and of itself. So you've already won. And now that you've won, just checking to see if your spine is sort of upright without being uptight. Shoulders over your hips, nose aligned with your belly button. And you can be meditating in any of the 4 positions. So seated, which we normally will offer guidance around, could be lying down, could be walking, could be standing. Again, I'll focus on the seated position. And then checking in really just to see if there's any tension. And we're not trying to chase away the tension. We're just really sort of checking in and seeing what's here. And sometimes the noticing will cause the tension to release. And if it doesn't, it's our first opportunity to bring a no big deal attitude to our set. And then a few deliberate breaths. Breathing in through the nose allows us to breathe low into the belly. And then as we exhale, we can extend and accentuate that. It's a bodily cue that it's okay to shift into a rest and relaxation state. So slow and low is our tempo for those breaths. And then sort of 2 options to begin with. So one is if you're feeling tuned in to those breaths, you can try continuing with the breath as your home base. You can think about the fact that you're really feeling the breath, you're not observing the breath. So you're not removed at all from the breath, you are the breath. So that's option 1. And then option 2 is more of a expansive sort of position. And so working with sounds is one of the things that I like to do when I'm looking for something that's feeling a bit more expansive. And if we're still, we can almost sort of hear the silence in the room. And if silence isn't available, there's probably a noise or two in the room. So as Jeff mentions, his favorites are heater vents or air conditioners or refrigerators. Or maybe you're close enough to hear traffic. And the expansive part is really kind of being able to hear it like you're a radar dish. And if that doesn't land for you, what I'm pointing at is this notion that you can kind of hear with distance and direction. So those are the two options to play around with. You're always welcome to create your own third option. I'll let you explore for a bit here and check in a while. And just a quick reminder about when we're using a home base, kind of what makes the home base a home is that you leave for a bit and then you come back. So if you're following the breath and you realize that you haven't felt the breath in quite some time, then seeing if you can return to the breath with a bit of homecoming, with a bit of the sort of, I haven't felt the breath, and going back to it. So returning after you've lost contact is really something to rejoice around. Okay, keep going. infinite redos. Or if you're a golfer, you have as many mulligans as you need. So I just noticed that the sunset is filling outside with a total pink tone, and I completely got distracted for a moment. And then I settled back into the posture and started over. So you can always begin again. And if you feel like you've been losing contact with your home base a little bit more frequently, just check in with the posture and see maybe if there's a little bit too much effort, or if you're sort of listed to one side or the other. When I reset, I often will stretch up and then elongate the spine a bit and settle back in. And since you're meditating at home, you can do that without fear of disturbing your neighbors. So, again, you always have the choice to continue with the technique, but this is your opportunity to put the technique down and do nothing. A sort of visual I like is that you've been pedaling and pedaling, and this is your opportunity to coast. And just a reminder for do nothing, we're letting go of any intention to control or shepherd our attention. And if we notice that we're doing that, we let it go. And then if you notice that you're counting your breaths or doing something else and you let that go 2 or 3 times, then that's sort of what the mind wants to do. So that's not you micromanaging your attention. So I'll give you this time and ring the bell when we're done. May the fruits of the practice be for the benefit of all beings. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for everyone watching in the future who are watching this recording. Like I say, I do notice that the view count goes up after Wednesdays, so I very much appreciate your time and attention. And thank you for being a dutiful community while I stepped away there for a moment. So, like I said, reports, comments, questions, I'll do my best to respond. Thank you so much, Brooke. And it's super welcome. So I think Brooke is a fantastic meditation teacher. So, and I think, so I can't wait for y'all to experience guidance from both Brooke and Ralph. Yeah, that did go super fast. I did have a moment where I was like, wow, it's like 14 minutes left. And then that kind of zipped away. So, and again, thoughts are with you, Bill Joseph, to a smooth and speedy recovery and out of hospital as soon as it's safe to be out of the hospital. So, and then I would normally put my email, but I'm not going to be able to add you to the list if you're not on the list while I'm gone. So, yeah, Instagram. Let's see, Instagram, my personal, so when we do get access to actually post pictures, my pictures from the trip, again, we're going to Antarctica via Argentina, and then we'll be making pit stops in South Georgia and Falklands on the way back to Ushuaia. You're super welcome, Bill. So that's where pictures will be posted. And then for coaching stuff at some point here, I'll be posting more things on leonards.coaching. I did have a reminder update for today up there. So I noticed now that I've gotten lots of Wednesday reminders. So, and then we've got 13 likes. So that's like way above quota from what I would normally expect, Ruth. So, yeah, I wish we were going through Australia too. So we have not made it to Tasmania. I really want to go to Hobart at some point. I've been to Melbourne twice, and then my partner and I went to Sydney, Melbourne, and how do you say it? Cairns, up by the reef. So that was a super cool trip. But yeah, a couple of people had asked where we were departing from. So does show 2 likes. Oh no. Okay, so it's 13 on mine. So hopefully mine is the one that's the thing, and there wasn't like a run on likes, and everybody took them back. But yeah, Australia would have been cool. A cool departing spot. I know. I think New Zealand is another spot where people depart from on the other side. So, but yeah, so it's gonna be wild. And super. Oh, okay. So it is 13. Nice. Thanks everyone. You're in remarkably excellent, stable and caring hands with Brooke and Ralph. I think Lily is filling in for me for moderation for the Do Nothing Project while I'm out. So I won't be on. Oh yes. How long is the trip? Excellent question. So we leave the 7th and we come back. So the 7th of January, and we come back the 1st of February. So I think we're on the boat for 3 weeks. And it'll be both picturesque and very, very interesting. Yes, the frozen beard picture will be taken, Fred. Because a few people had said, "Do you realize how many icicles you're gonna get in that beard?" I really grew it for the hope of warmth, but the audio is choppy again. Sorry about that. But yeah, so we'll have science lectures on the boat. So I'm sure I'll have some random information to share. Always the sponge for information. Yeah, so have an excellent rest of January, and I will see you on the first Wednesday of February is when I'll be back, or when we'll have this, where I will be guiding you next. So, all right. Thank you. Have a great rest of your week, and say hi to Jeff for me.